Okay, guys, welcome to our last reaction show.
Wow, man, it's been a wild ride. We've been talking about all these,
and we look so tired.
Yes, honestly, watching all these conferences and live tweeting it and doing these videos for guys. By Square Enix, I'm feeling pretty burnt out.
Yeah, and I think that was our feeling throughout this conference.
Sure.
They
had some awesome stuff.
Really good games, really good reveals, more details on games we already knew about, which is fine. A lot of good stuff, but we were so burnt out we kind of half paid attention to it. that, and I will say, the one comment I'll make about their conference, you could tell they were newbies.
Yeah.
Because even though they had some great stuff, they would talk, and all they did was talk, and there was not a lot going on with that to interact with the crowd.
Sure. And it felt like it was a much smaller auditorium, too. Because when they were sort of showing the audience and people clapping, it didn't have that same, overwhelming wave of applause like the other ones did.
Yeah, now that being said, my whole focus in these reactions has been, in the long run, what are we looking at that's good here?
And they showed off a lot of really good games.
Stuff,
they really did. They showed some awesome stuff.
The first one, they started off with Just Cause 3.
Yeah.
It was a good start.
And with Just Cause, I mean, it's pretty much exactly what you love about Just Cause, just more of it. Like little improvements. Graphically, when they showed that, maybe it's because we just came off on Nintendo, but I'm like, wow, this game looks awesome. Like, it looks so pretty, like the draw distance and the jungles and all that stuff. And they're showing off the improved grappling hook stuff, the physics. And he would this one time, he shot the grappling hook onto an explosive container, shot the other one onto a guy, shot it, and he just went and shot up into the sky, took the guy with him.
That was one of the
so
things
funny.
Is that the grappling hook, you can do multiple of them. The parachute had better functionality.
And the cool thing about the grappling hook now, it's manual. So they said you can shoot it on, he shot onto a tower and then onto something else, and then he ran away and then hit a button and made it pull down later.
Yeah.
So that was actually pretty cool too.
Which is very cool.
Yeah.
It launches in December. I've never played any of the Just Cause series. Have you?
I haven't. I've read up a lot about them. I know that a few months back, Game Informer actually had an issue all about it. And from what I've seen, it looks like it'll be a blast to play.
Yeah, it's open world, kind of like a crazy about destruction. There's just a lot of cool stuff. They're definitely about destruction on a massive scale. It seems like it's a game that would be more fun to just run around in than actually focus on story.
But like I said, if you have time to kill, it looks like a blast.
Yeah, the next one was a reveal of what seems to be a PlayStation exclusive. Nier.
Yeah, they did say this is going to be a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah,
there's a new Nier game.
New Nier, which I never played the original, but I know
it was
somebody.
on 360. So the original Nier was on 360 and PS3. So it's kind of interesting they decided to go PlayStation exclusive route.
It could be because they just said coming to PlayStation in the same way that Tomb Raider, when it originally revealed, coming to Xbox.
For some reason, I thought they said PlayStation exclusive. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Well, I just remember them saying coming to PlayStation up on top.
Sure.
They may one of these, because there's two games actually here that are PlayStation exclusive, and it could be timed. We don't know. Probably not. It could be full on. Either way.
Know.
I've never played the original, but I do hear a lot of positive things about it. Like, I remember the original. I know somebody that spent hours and hours and hours, and I'd never played the original. And I'm like, okay, it's JRPG style, I think.
Okay.
It's more near. If those of you who would be excited for that sequel, then they went to Rise of the Tomb Raider,
which I am super pumped for. Like I said before, I saw Fallout the other night. Rise of the Tomb Raider was the #1 game on my list for this year, and with that game, it's so pretty. I mean, they pretty much showed the exact same trailer they showed yesterday, and they showed off the Lara Croft, the model of it and all that, and they're showing the detail on the face and all that stuff, and that game is so pretty. I'm super excited for that, and honestly, to me personally, I think it looked better than what they showed off for Uncharted at PlayStation, but that's just me.
Yeah, that's a big debate going around online. Which look better, Tomb Raider or Uncharted?
Yeah.
Long-standing history, people are going to go for Uncharted.
Oh yeah, absolutely. People will say they like Uncharted.
But Tomb Raider,
better.
you can't deny that game did look pretty.
Yeah, it looks great. I mean, and they also announced another Tomb Raider kind of. They're like, what goes great with what do gamers love? Mobile games. So what they did, they were talking about Hitman Go and the other Hitman game they did mobilely, and then they actually showed off Lara Croft Go. Great name. And I think they said it was like a what do they call it? I forget what they called it. But it's not going to be like a normal Tomb Raider game. It's going to be more of a turn-based game.
Yeah.
And it's different. I know that they also came with the Lara Croft Endless Runner game, but it's not like that.
Its art style is very cartoon.
Yeah, almost like watercolored. It looked fine, but I probably won't check it out.
Yeah,
I'm not a big mobile game.
I never played the Hitman Go, Hitman style, not a mobile. Then they had a Heaven's Sword expansion for
Final Fantasy Online.
For Final Fantasy Online, which is okay, cool. I think of that the same way I think of Knights or the Old Republic expansion.
Sure.
whoop-de-doo. But Life is Strange, they
Uh,
mentioned it.
And the funny thing with the mention of Life is Strange, I'm playing through that and I'm absolutely loving it. I can't wait for the next episode. Episode 4 is coming out soon. But they didn't show off any new footage. It was like the same trailer they showed off last E3 before the game even came out. And I'm like, I mean,
Well, I think it was wasn't it part of like a bunch of games?
yeah, they're showing
I
off a
don't
bunch of games
remember.
in a row. That's true. Yeah.
That was just the one we caught because they identified it. Dragon Quest Heroes was another one in that little thing they threw on it, which I don't know much about that. Final Fantasy VII, they showed the exact same
Yeah,
trailer.
they did. They showed the exact same trailer they showed at PlayStation. Nothing new.
Awesome game. Yeah.
Yeah, and I mean, they just said Final Fantasy VII is coming. You know, they had the guy come out and talk about it a little bit. But we didn't really learn anything new. And that's what we found out. They are just now starting to work on it. That's what he mentioned. When
Yeah,
he talked.
that's
And that was
farther
the
off.
surprising thing because we thought, they got the CGI trailer. They must be at least have it underway. But pretty much all they've done so far is that CGI trailer.
Yeah, and
So,
so it
yeah.
did exactly that. It's built a lot of hype for us.
Yep.
But
And they're like,
wow,
you
it's
know
a-
how
it's a
hyped you are
really
right now. We
far
got to
away.
pull you back down to earth a little
Yeah.
bit because it's going to be quite a ways off.
yeah, it's very, very far off. Then they went into Kingdom Hearts, and it was weird the way he delivered this because
Yes.
he's like, okay, this is Final Fantasy VII because he's the guy. He was the director of Kingdom Hearts 3. It's what it first said.
Yep.
And he comes out, he's like, this is Final
We're
Fantasy VII. Now we're gonna get into something you might enjoy, Kingdom Hearts. But
And we were all super excited. Like, so we're finally going to show us Kingdom Hearts 3. And the way they teased this was hilarious because then they showed us Kingdom Hearts Unchained Key, which is going to be a mobile game. And they said it's going to kind of be the prequel to Kingdom Hearts 3.
yeah,
The
which
animation
is cool,
style
I
was,
guess.
I mean, it was nothing like Kingdom Hearts, obviously. It was more like, tiny people, almost like the Final Fantasy world, or not, was it World of Final Fantasy? Or
Yeah, which they went over afterwards.
Yeah, it was kind of like
after
that kind of animation
3.
style. So
Again, we're not really giving you a whole lot here because we don't really care about mobile games.
yeah,
and
I mean
so-
true.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what
Like
to
we don't
say.
have
Yeah.
a lot to add there because we
Exactly,
don't care about
exactly.
mobile games, so we literally turned away and ignored it. And
Well,
like-
I would say we watched it, but there was just no. It didn't really like the excitement meter just kind of stayed level. It didn't
yeah,
really do
and
anything
we were
for
kind
us.
of like zoning out.
But
or
after
I
that, they
was.
said Kingdom Hearts 3. We're like, yes, finally.
Yeah,
and then
finally.
they showed two guys to talk about the new level from Tangled. Didn't show any gameplay. They just sat in chairs like, we're bringing Tangled
Which,
to you.
Tangled and Disney fans. I mean, I just
And I'm
was
thought,
in-
okay, now they're going to show footage. And then it stopped. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Yeah,
And then eventually,
and he comes
they
out and says,
finally showed gameplay. And the funny thing with Kingdom Hearts 3, it's been on a very strange journey because they announced it a long time ago. But at the end of the trailer, they said Xbox One and PS4. But this game, when they decided to move it to next gen, they decided to completely change the engine for this game. They pretty much had to rewrite the whole thing in a new engine. So that's part of the reason it's taking so long to get to us. But for Xbox fans, it's going to be kind of weird because PlayStation 3 got the remasters of 1 and 2 recently.
Yeah,
you can play
and-
through all the old ones
and you
and
can-
the handheld games.
you
can
probably play
all of
through
them.
him on PlayStation now, probably.
Yeah, and so, but with
you
Xbox,
have to pay
we're
for.
just getting
Just kidding.
3. So I'm kind of wondering if they'll do that for Xbox, eventually bring that, remaster over so we can at least try it.
Mhm.
Because I played through the original Kingdom Hearts, on my PlayStation 2 back in the day, but I would love to play through them again. I mean, that was so long ago.
Are any
If
of
they
them on?
expect me to remember what's going on
Wait,
to start playing Kingdom Hearts 3?
I totally zoned out on what you were saying.
Yeah.
Like, are any of them on PC? Did you say that?
No, they're
Oh,
only
okay.
they're only on PlayStation right now. So you can tell he's tired.
Yeah.
But after that, like we mentioned before, they showed off the exact same trailer of World
Well,
of
yeah,
Final
but with Kingdom
So-
Hearts 3, it did look really cool and everything, but again, like really far off.
Yeah.
Probably.
That's another
very,
game. I
very
think
far.
did they
Maybe
say 2016? I thought they said 2016 at the end of the trailer.
Yeah. The
So
thing
that-
is, like,
that's
all
gonna
of
be
this
pretty
was really cool. They even had a couple like standout announcements, which were great. But it's series we know, and the only way you can do it with the CGI trailer is to build hype, and that's
Yeah.
pretty much what all this was. It was like,
But at least for Kingdom Hearts, we got actual gameplay, so
Yeah.
that was nice. And the enemies and the effects, like when you hit enemies, they explode into fire. That all looked awesome. So I think it will be a great game when it comes out. But like I said, the only thing I'm going to miss out on is not being able to go back because I don't have a PS2 anymore. I don't even have a PS3 anymore. And to be able to go back and play those, I won't get that opportunity.
World of Final
So,
Fantasy. Yeah,
they
it-
showed the exact same trailer for
talked
that
about
as they
that
did last time.
yesterday.
Yep.
It's,
So no, not really any new information on that. They did start talking about Hitman a little bit more. The new
Yeah.
Hitman coming out. They talked about this online community that's happening. So they're going to be like these missions that are like 48 hours. And so you can, once you go in and eliminate that person, that's it. You can't
Mhm.
go back and do it again. These are special missions. Or if you let him go, you'll never have a chance to take out the same hit.
Yeah.
So I thought that was kind of interesting. They're doing these special little timed missions.
Mhm.
On top of that, they pretty much just, talked about, reiterating Hitman, what it is. These assassination missions, how you can go about it all the different ways. So, I mean, they just, used all the next-gen speak for that. But I'm super hyped for it because I enjoy Hitman.
I've never played them.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're cool and stuff, but like with not playing it, I don't have that attachment, so it's one I may try later and get a different opinion on. But then they had a big reveal. They revealed a new Star Ocean.
But it's going to be exclusive to PlayStation.
Yeah, that might have already been heard, like in retrospect.
Now, to me, it was
at
new,
it, I don't know if
I
it was
really
announced.
pay attention
Yeah,
a lot
to me,
to
it's
Japanese RPG games.
I remember that being on 360 and PS3.
Yeah.
And it is PlayStation exclusive. I've never played it. It looked really interesting.
We're having some great commentary today.
I know. See, the thing about
there were
Square,
some awesome games like Hitman and all this stuff, but I mean, they have a lot of Japanese RPGs. That's
a lot of JRPGs, which not many of them we've played.
Yeah.
The only JRPG I played last gen was Lost Odyssey, which I'm never going to see again because that was just awesome. But like, other than that, like Star Ocean, I wanted to give a shot. I think I actually played like a couple, like half an hour of it one time and couldn't get into it. But it's got a big following, so if you like that. And then they went into Deus Ex: Mankind Divided.
Now, Deus Ex actually looks really cool. That's actually only coming to, I think, Xbox One and PS4 and PC. It's not coming to Wii U, even though they just remastered the last one onto Wii U, and they said that was the best version of the game to play.
It already seems like people are giving up on the Wii U.
Yeah, they have.
Well, I mean, they did a while ago, but yeah.
But this Deus Ex, I mean, it looks awesome. The cool weapons and everything they're bringing back from the other games. I believe in that game they said you can beat it without taking any enemies out, if I remember right. Because I know they did that with the last game.
Really? I thought that was Dishonored.
No, but I mean with Deus Ex it's the same way. You can play it stealthy if you want to. But that game, I mean, it's more Deus Ex. If you liked the last one, you'll definitely love this one.
Yeah, I know some people that are telling me that I need to play the last one and get hyped for this one.
Yeah.
And now I'm probably gonna get it on buy the 360 copy and play it on my one now.
Now I'm trying to remember. Did they ever remaster for Xbox One and PS4? I know they did Wii U, but I can't remember if they did it. Okay.
Well, maybe they did.
They may have.
Maybe they did. Yeah.
That's a really cool game.
And then last thing they did was they announced that they have a new company called Tokyo RPG Factory, and they're working on a new series, a big series. They showed a lot of like concept art of some landscapes and stuff, of some beautiful worlds and everything. Pretty much what I'm getting used to seeing in every single game whenever you show concept art, hills and trees and really pretty colors.
Yeah.
But they call it Project Setsuna. Releases.
Well, that's at least what it's called right now.
It's set to release in 2016, but they were so minimal on it.
I was gonna say if it's this early and they're just doing concept art, come out next year. It'll probably be pushed.
I mean, they probably have. They said it's been in production for a little bit, but I still say 2017 because of how little they showed it at their own conference here.
Yeah.
They would have at least had a trailer or something. But we don't know what to expect. They said it's a JRPG because that's what they're famous for. JRPGs are great, and the Final Fantasy VII, I think, of all this, I'm excited to go back and play.
Yeah,
Kingdom Hearts 3, I'm excited to give a shot because I'm familiar with it. And that's the big thing that this E3 played on. Nintendo didn't give you anything you were familiar with.
That's true.
So we're all lukewarm.
So we don't have that, we don't have the hype built up.
Microsoft and Sony gave you stuff you were familiar with, whether it was fan fiction from 10 years ago at Sony's or whether it's great series known for Microsoft. They gave you what you're familiar with. And when you're familiar with it, you're super excited. So everybody got hyped after Microsoft. Everybody got hyped after Sony. And, of course, the fans are going back and forth at each other. Who's better? But Nintendo's, they didn't give us anything we're familiar with. Time will tell what actually is good out of this conference. But,
yeah. And, I mean, honestly, for this conference, I would give it, like, a solid B, maybe B minus, just for the fact that everything they showed, it looked awesome. Like, Tomb Raider and Deus Ex and Kingdom Hearts. Because, like I said, Kingdom Hearts, like, gameplay. Hitman they talked about.
Just Cause looked fun.
Yeah, Just Cause looked awesome. So they showed, and just for me personally, just because I don't like JRPGs, I'm not going to, say that it was bad. The only thing I agree with you that you said before, they went on talking a little bit too long in certain places. So, I mean, it did drag a little bit. But the games they showed were awesome. So, for me, I'd say it was a good conference. I enjoyed it. I mean, and especially for the last one. Part of the reason it dragged, I think, might be just because it was the last one. Yeah. I'd say a solid B minus at least.
I give it a solid B. I'm usually the optimist here.
Sure.
I give it a solid B. Kingdom Hearts 3 and Final Fantasy 7 and what was that? Rise of the Tomb Raider, a near announcement. Just Cause 3 and Star Ocean Deus Ex. There's a lot of great games there. I mean, I was trying to just choose a few to say that it was good, but then I kept seeing more. Then I'm like, wow, I am kind of intrigued in that.
There was a lot.
There's a lot to be intrigued about. Was a poor delivery for the most part. I like what they were trying to. You could tell they were so nervous up on stage.
And they did a lot of like segments in between were just like little hype trailers of showing off game, and like these little tiny windows. Which every time we thought, is it over? Because it felt like those hype trailers they would show
Were
at the end of a conference.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're like, oh, it was a good show. And then the guy would come out and they start talking again. And they do it again. And we're like, oh, well.
And then at the end, they brought everybody on stage. And
Yeah.
you could tell they were also nervous up there. I mean, it's cool to see them
Yeah.
up there. At least you can tell they're trying to be personal. And they said, this is our future. That's great for a company.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
great.
absolutely.
Um,
And E3 is definitely the place to show it.
Yeah, and that's cool. You know, kudos to Square Enix. I hope they have a great future. I hope they continue to make great stuff. I hope I get to play it.
Absolutely.
But, you know, just
Sure.
a B.
So you guys, thanks for sticking around and watching our reviews of all different conferences. It's been a lot of fun. We've been live tweeting it and we've been doing these videos and all that for you guys. Make sure to check out our podcast, the Life of Gaming podcast. We're on iTunes. We're also on the Microsoft MP3 store. You can find us on YouTube. Make sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel as well. We're loading this kind of content. Matt is doing more Let's Plays for us, so we're getting those up, and we're always adding new stuff. You know, myself and Josh, who couldn't be with us here today.
No.
We're
The
always
beard is
adding
missing.
new content. And that's right. He had to work. Poor man. But so pretty much, make sure to follow us, like I said, on Twitter at Life of Gaming Pod. All the names and stuff are up here at the top of the screen for you guys. I'm at James+12. Brant, he's at -the_Brant, and then you can find Matt.
Oh, at cpunkrock07.
So make sure to follow us on
07.
Twitter as well, because we're starting to get a lot more active on there. Get in contact with us, because we love talking with you guys. Asking us questions and things like that. Our podcast is a weekly podcast. We record it every Friday night, and then we upload it like early Saturday morning. So you guys make sure to check that out and rate us on iTunes.
This week we have who?
Well, this week we're actually having the creator of Shapes of Grey on our show, a Wii U game that's out right now. The game we played it yesterday. That game was a blast. He's actually going to be on our show this Friday. Also on our previous episode that started right before E3, which is our PlayStation prediction episode. Make sure to check that out. We actually are giving away a copy of The Last of Us on PlayStation 4. And that's thank you to the Work Print. We had Rob as a guest on, and we also had Eric from the Press Circle podcast with the Nerdy. That was on that episode. So make sure to check that out. So if you want to win a copy of The Last of Us on PlayStation 4, make sure to check that out. But hopefully you guys have enjoyed sticking it around with us for a little bit and seeing what we thought about it.
We need sleep like you guys do.
That's
probably.
right. And we're probably going to do kind of like a summary show somewhere down the line, again, just to sort of talk about how our predictions panned out. Because, you guys probably want to know how our predictions panned out. So we'll get to that here in the future. Yeah. So make sure to stick around, guys, and we hope to see you soon. And with that, guys, we are out.